everyone, it's Leanne. I'm just going to do a video for those of you who want tips or help straightening their hair. Now, if you look at my hair, it's very thick and very long. It comes out about here. So it can be a task to straighten. I'm just going to use some simple techniques, my GHD styler and the original one, and some Tresemme hair product. I've already brushed my hair through, it doesn't look it, I know. There's so much hair, it's unbelievable. Now with this, it comes out in quite a lot, so all you really want to do is just lightly hold it up and just lightly, very lightly, squirt it to mist it. You don't want loads on your hair, but this stuff is really good. It's instant dry and it's heat defense. But that doesn't mean to say it's okay to use all the time, because your hair's not made to be straightened all the time. Because a lot of people tend to straighten their hair thinking, oh, it feels so soft, it looks so shiny. No, that's not the case. You go out with it and you take it out, and basically you come home, you wash it, eventually your hair will see. You see all the girls with the hair up here because they've had to cut long hair off, or right up here. My friend had to cut her hair right up to about here because she was straightening it all the time and it just had to go. And you hear these horrible stories about these girls who straighten hair all the time and they end up bald by the time they're 18. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. And you might think it won't happen to you, but it will, because I was dyeing and straightening my hair a lot and it started to fall out and break. And when it does that, you really need to stop. And it's basically switch the styles on. It's the first beep, and you wait until you hear the second beep. Don't straighten before, because they will because it can damage your hair because you're running it through a lot. And make sure your hair is thoroughly dried before you do this. I recommend you wash your hair before going to bed and then straighten it in the morning. It is the most easy, simple thing to do, because it damages your hair less and basically much better. Double beep. Some people like to tear away the top bits and section it off like that, but to be honest, I don't like doing that, so I just like to hold it back while I do it, and just hold it up and just run down. The speed, it's enough to straighten it and keep it flat all day. And the thing is with straighteners as well, they actually take the colour out of your hair, because black's a very hard colour to keep in my hair, because my hair just, even my natural colour was patchy. And I've had it all colours, and they just all turn a funny colour and come out. So I don't get that really. And you've got to make sure your hair is, like, as I said, very thoroughly dry. You can't have just freshly dried it with a hairdryer or whatever, because that is not properly dry. Even if it feels it, it's still got moisture in it from washing it, so I really would not ever do things like that. It's always, particularly if you're curling your hair, it's best to wash it the night or the day before you're going to curl it, because it keeps it clean. But obviously don't scrub your hair every day, because that will take all the natural oils out of it, particularly if you are going to straighten it a lot. You won't be able to, because it will be so dry and damaged, and the ends will split a lot sooner, so you'll need it cut a lot more. And the more you cut it, the shorter it's going to be, particularly if you want to grow it. So yeah. I actually cut my own hair, to be honest. These straighteners, I don't know how hot they are, but it's about 230 to 250 degrees, I think, something along those lines, and they work really well. They went from a big puffy bush hair a minute ago to that, so I've had these since I was about 14 and I'm 16 now, so in about just over 2 years. Yeah, but I would say these are good. I always straighten the front bits first. I don't know why, I just like to straighten the front bits first. And if it's well protected, you can see, because there's no steam coming off the hair, and it should just be, it'll feel hot, but it won't feel really like sizzling. Like if you straighten it and it starts to sizzle or crackle, you know you haven't protected it, or you've put too much protector on it and it's wet. simple techniques if you've got like waves in your hair. If you go to bed with your hair wet, that can bring out big waves in it, which is what a lot of people don't want. But actually, if you just do it in like thinner strands at a time, because it is much easier to get through it all. But you just got to make sure you do get all of it by doing it like that, and you're not going out with one great big curl down the back of it or something. It's really hard because it takes so long to brush my hair out because it actually grows into dreadlocks underneath for some reason. I don't understand that. Not even the hairdresser can understand that. But yes, it's very simple to do. All you have to do is clamp it and just pull it. You don't need to clamp down really hard if you want it to be straightened. Even if you get really angry with it, just do it gently. It will do it in its own time. And there's all sorts of shampoos that you can use that are supposed to make it go straighter, but to be honest, none of them really work. Your hair won't go straighter by using a different shampoo. Your hair will go straighter if you let it dry naturally, but if you wait until it's dried off a little bit, just run the brush through it quick and gently, because your hair's at its like most fragile point when it's wet, so you've got to be really careful, particularly if it's really damaged. But if it's to the extent it's extremely damaged and falling out, I wouldn't recommend straightening it, and I wouldn't recommend brushing it while it's wet, because that will make it a lot worse. If you do it in thin layers, also the underneath gets done at the same time, and you don't really have to worry about that later on. The top layers can be the hardest ones because they're the most damaged, they're the most likely to stand out, they're the most fragile, they're also the most annoying to straighten because they don't sit flat. It's pretty easy, you can do it. I recommend the GHD straighteners. I really wouldn't say use other ones because, well, my mum tried a different pair and basically she's tried quite a few actually, and all they've done is like dry her hair out, strip the colour out of it faster. They've basically just made it split and horrible really, because her hair's really short up here. It makes it look really bad if it's really dried out and frizzy, because she dyes it like a browny red and all the colour comes out of it and it turns ginger. So that's also a problem with straightening hair that's got red in it. It can turn it ginger, particularly the top and the ends, because they're the bits most likely to go first if it does decide to turn ginger. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but if you want red hair, if you don't want ginger hair, then I suggest you be really careful with it and not straighten it and wash it and dye it, like blow dry it all the time, because these things can all add to it. Basically at one point my hair was all falling out because it was so badly damaged with bleach blonde. I know lots of people think, oh blonde, I want peroxide blonde, but trust me, you don't want peroxide blonde. It's the biggest mistake you'll ever make, and you'll say, no, I've got to have it, no, because I know this is what I was saying. I was going to my mum, no, I've got to have it, got to have it. And she was like saying, Leanne, you'll damage it, you'll ruin it, your hair will fall out, you'll end up bald. And I was still going, no, I won't, my hair will be fine. For about 2 months my hair was fine, and then it started to really dry out. By the way, the short layers on top I like to lift up and straighten that way, and just drop them because then they fall into the right place. But she was saying, don't do it, your hair will end up falling out, you'll be bald. And the thing is, when it got close to the summer, we were actually going on holiday, and I went to the hairdressers, and she was trying. This wasn't a very good one. This was a terrible one. They were rude to me. They treated me like dirt. And they overcharged me. They insisted I then pay it, and basically didn't go back there again. And they damaged all my hair even further because they put a wrong percentage of bleach on it, and like that's what did it in. And particularly home bleachers, you don't want to use those either, because to be honest, they don't care what's in the home product. They don't treat it for your hair. They don't care about you or your hair. They just want the money. And brushing it makes it flower as well. But anyways, that's enough to do for that. I will do a hair care damaged one, damaged video tips at another time. Bye bye.